begin with, may I request Mr. V.V. Ramaraju, Co-Chairman, FICCI Telangana State Council, to deliver the formal welcome address.
A very warm welcome to the Northeast Roadshow here in the beautiful city of Hyderabad, in the vibrant state of the Telangana. I am truly privileged and honored to have this opportunity to welcome such an esteemed gathering for this initiative. We are here today in anticipation of the upcoming Northeast Global Investor Summit. This summit, organized by the Ministry of Department of the Northeastern Region, shortly called DONOR. This is aiming to showcase the tremendous business potential that the Northeastern states possess. And it also presents an incredible opportunity for all of us to explore and capitalize the tremendous prospects that are available and possessed by the region. I am also delighted to announce that FICCI, the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is proud to be a partner of this ministry in this unique initiative. The region, Northeast region, with its 8 states, boasting immense cultural diversity and breathtaking landscapes, it's a treasure of untapped potential. It is also a region where tradition and modernity blend seamlessly, creating a unique and vibrant business environment. The business location of the Northeast, sharing international borders like Bhutan, China, Myanmar, and Bangladesh, provides a unique advantage for trade, connectivity, and investment. It serves as a gateway to the Southeast Asian markets, opening up avenues to cross-border collaborations and economic growth. To add to this, furthermore, the Northeast is blessed with abundant natural resources, ranging from hydrocarbons and minerals to fertile agricultural lands and pristine forests. These resources present a tremendous avenues for growth, particularly in sectors like energy, mining, agriculture, food processing, pharmaceuticals, textiles and handlooms, tourism, and infrastructure development. These opportunities within the sectors are vast and waiting to be tapped, explored, and harnessed for the betterment of the region and its people. Today we are honored to have the presence of these esteemed guests who have graced us with their distinguished experience and presence. Mr. Moses Chalaya, Secretary of the Northeastern Council, brings with him the wealth of knowledge and experience in driving this development of this region. We also have the privilege of welcoming Harpreet Singh, Joint Secretary, Minister of Donor. With his expertise and dedication for this initiative has been instrumental in advancing the goals of the Northeastern region. In addition to, we are joined by senior officials from the 7 northern states who have been working tirelessly to create an enabling environment and ecosystem for the business and investment. Their presence here today gives us and shows us that government is commitment in improving, supporting and promoting the Northeastern region as a thriving business destination. It is also a testament to the vision and determination of our leaders to harness the vast potential of the Northeast region and create a robust economic environment and ecosystem that fosters inclusive growth and development. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unique opportunity before us today. By exploring business opportunities, the Northeast, we can also expand, not only expanding it, but also venturing into other joint ventures, but also to contribute to social economic development of the region. The Northeastern region states eagerly waiting to welcome investors, entrepreneurs, and collaborators who can help unleash their true potential and create a win-win scenario for all the stakeholders. The roadshow here today serves as a platform for dialogue, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. It is also an occasion to connect and engage with the key stakeholders, understand the investment climate and environment, and forge meaningful partnerships. I would urge and request each one of you to actively participate in discussions, network and follow up with industry leaders, and explore the vast potential that the Northeast holds and possesses. Let us all seize this opportunity to create lasting partnerships and continue to the growth of the Northeastern region. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the distinguished guests present here today. Your presence here signifies your belief in the immense opportunity that the Northeast offers. Thank you for being part of this Northeast event, this momentous event, and I wish you all a fruitful discussions, valuable connections, and a memorable experience and takeaways. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Mr. Harpreet Singh, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Donor, to kindly make the theme presentation. This by way of introduction to the Northeast.
Most important guests of today, the captains of industry, business champions, prospective investors in the Northeast. I stand before you just to give you a sort of overview of what the Northeast is all about in terms of the potential that it holds for investment. Not many of us may know as much about it as one should, I guess. You will, of course, have a chance to listen to all the states who are present here today, talk about their own states, the potentials, their areas of priority, etc. Let me first start by putting before you, sharing with you, two very important comments in speeches that the Honorable Prime Minister of India made about the Northeast. In the first, he described the Northeast of India as having the potential to be the new growth engine of the country. In the second, he described the 8 states of the Northeast India as the Ashtalakshmi of India. And these are with good reason, as you will see in the subsequent slides. So what is it that the Northeast offers by way of something that is unique, something different, and then as an advantage that it possesses over many other states? Let's look at the demographic of the states. It has a very favorable land to population ratio. 7% of India's land and only 3.7% of India's population. By 2030, it is expected that 37 million will join the working age population. Almost around 82% of the population is literate. It's a biodiversity hotspot with 65% forest cover, 7,500 species of plants, and 183 species of animals. It has huge mineral resources, the largest onshore reserve of petroleum and natural gas, followed by coal, limestone, sandstone, granite, iron, and silicon. There's abundance of water, essential for any industrial activity. The network of rivers offer great potential for navigation. There's in excess of 50,000 megawatts of hydropower potential, which is there to be tapped. Perhaps the best known Northeast resources are its agricultural resources, tea, rubber, bamboo, and the horti produces. By way of industrial and trade infrastructure, it offers 125 industrial parks. There are 4 notified special economic zones in the region, 38 land custom stations, 5 integrated checkpoints, and 12 border huts, 10 across Bangladesh and 2 across the border of Myanmar. So, when we look at the Northeast, how does it fare in terms of the infrastructure, its connectivity? Well, it has 17 operational airports, 2 of which are international airports, extensive road network. The road density at 144 kilometers per every 100 square kilometers is higher than the national average of 115 kilometers per 100 square kilometers. Huge network of national highways, state highways, and district roads. The trilateral highway, which starts in the northeast, going down from Myanmar to Thailand, is also a work in progress. There are 20 national waterways. There exists a protocol on inland water transit with Bangladesh. We have access to Mongla and Chittagong seaports in Bangladesh. The Matabari deep sea port is also coming up in another couple of years. As far as railway is concerned, we have excess of 2,700 kilometers of network already available, which will finally connect all state capitals and important locations. The Trans-Asian Railway also is to pass through the Northeast, Bangladesh, and other parts of Asia. There is a lot that the state governments, and especially the central government, has done by way of improving infrastructure, etc., which we are well aware of. Let me put a number to it. First of all, there are 55 ministries and departments of central government which are mandated to spend 10% of their gross budgetary support. In 2022-23, this was around 82,000 crores. This year, it is expected to cross 94,000 crores. As far as externally aided projects are concerned, projects that are ongoing are worth 23,500 odd crores, and another 72,000 odd crores worth of projects are in the pipeline. But this is not enough. The region still needs people like you, people from the private sector, to come in and invest. And the question that one would obviously ask is, why should we come? So to summarize very quickly, first of all, with all the infrastructure that is coming up, has been set up in the region, the cost of logistics is reducing. The cost of living is already low, so you get cost competitiveness. There's high quality of regional resources and products, agricultural, minerals, etc., so you get quality resources. Like I mentioned, by 2030, 37 million are expected to join the working age population. It's a working age population, and it's a population that is aspirational, eager to work, so you get a young, talented workforce. And of course, it is the gateway to the Southeast Asian markets, so it is very strategically located. Based on our assessment and detailed discussions that we've had with investors, chambers of commerce, and of course the state governments, we were able to identify 7 priority sectors for purposes of investment. The first one, of course, is agri, food processing and allied sectors, education and skill, entertainment and sports, healthcare, textile, handlooms and handicrafts, IT and IT-enabled sector, and tourism and hospitality. I'll quickly go through the sectors one by one. Agri and allied sector, 50% of the country's total tea production comes from this region. That's 1/6 of the total world production of tea. Sikkim is the fully organic state, and in their presentation, I'm sure they're going to talk about this. There's skilled manpower available with so many agricultural universities in the region. There's a huge pool of skilled manpower available. Infrastructure, medicinal plants with over 40% of India's total endemic plant species available in the region. And produce, of course, like bamboo, rubber, tea, spices, flowers, fruits, etc. So what are the opportunities that these offer? There is opportunity in food processing, especially of vegetables, fruits, spices, etc. Post-harvest and cold chain infrastructure. Agricultural inputs, rubber and bamboo processing, breweries and distilleries. So the challenge here is to how best evacuate the produce of the region to other parts of the country and beyond. So this is the opportunities that are available here. Education and skill, like I mentioned, high literacy rate. There are many institutions of national importance with the IITs, IIMs, NITs available in the region. There are 72 Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendras which have trained 13.6 lakh trainees from 2016. There's a Northeast Skill Center that has been established in Assam. There's an Assam Skill University, and another one, I believe, that is being set up in Tripura. The opportunities are in the areas of setting up private school with international curriculum, etc. Like I said, this is an aspirational population. Demand for high quality education, vocational and skill training, finishing schools, etc. With all of this, the region actually has the potential to be an international education hub. Entertainment and sports. This is another emerging sector which is very popular. Sports, entertainment, very popular in the Northeast, and rightly so that it is being called the sporting powerhouse of the country. As an industry, sports as an industry has been recognized in Mizoram. There are traditional theaters and a vibrant film industry. You would be aware of the Assam, the Manipur, Mizoram, so many movies that have come out which have been recognized internationally. It is known as the land of festivals, with the better known ones being the Hornbill Festival, Sangai Festival, Zero Musical Festival, etc. So the opportunities here are to set up sports academies, management of professional sports, setting up of film studios, filmmaking, and curating new festivals around music and culture, not just in the region, but taking artists and these talented people to the other parts of the country. Virtual reality, animation, and gaming is another area which is there to be tapped. As far as healthcare is concerned, you would be aware that Assam and Sikkim are recognized as pharma hubs. Medical professionals with the large number of medical colleges, etc., being available. There is a large pool of medical professionals that are there. There are over 2,000 facilities of public health care systems, private health care systems available in the Northeast region. Traditional medicine and healing practices are very popular, not just in the region, but outside it also. And you would also be aware that over 1,000 health and wellness centers are being opened under the National Ayush Mission in the Northeast region. So again, pharmaceuticals and medical manufacturing devices is one area where opportunities are available. Medical value tourism, telemedicine, medical education, hospitals and diagnostics, and critical care facilities. IT and IT-enabled sectors. You would be aware that the third international internet gateway has been set up in Agartala. There are IT parks available in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Manipur. There's a special economic zone for IT coming up in Imphal. The Ministry of Electronics and IT has launched the Northeast BPO promotion scheme, which provides huge incentives in this sector. There's a large population which is English speaking and trained. These create the opportunities for setting up data centers, setting up BPOs, KPOs, IT-enabled sectors, facilities, IT training and education, IT parks, tech cities, and e-commerce. Textile and handloom, another very, very well-known sector. We have 7.5 lakh handloom weavers and 2.38 lakh handlooms in the region. 22.86% of the total silk production of India comes from the Northeast region. And you have the well-known varieties of Eri and Muga silk. The largest importers of the silk is USA, followed by UAE, UK, and Italy. There is traditional jewelry that is made from bamboo, feathers, and beads, and bamboo and cane handicrafts, furniture, etc. All this lends itself very well into the global demand for environment-friendly products. Demand for design centers of handloom is there in the country, in this region, to tap into the talent that is there, the resources that are available there. Textile manufacturing. There has been a recent upsurge in use of specialty fibers like banana fibers, water hyacinth, pineapple leaf, etc. Setting up of apparel and garment factories, branding, marketing, and retail. The last sector, which is tourism. Like I said, it has a unique biodiversity. The natural beauty is brilliant. For those who've been there would understand what I'm saying. The tourist fall is now picking up. Post-COVID, data shows that tourist footfall is picking up in the Northeast region. It has 19 national parks and 65 wildlife sanctuaries, including 2 World Heritage Sites. Adventure and ecotourism are very, very popular here, trekking, camping, rafting, etc. And Northeast region is the home to many historical and religious sites. The opportunities for setting up of hotels, resorts, and especially homestays is tremendous. MICE tourism is picking up tremendously, and they're looking at newer and newer places to visit. Adventure tourism, the potential is enormous. Opportunities for destination development, river cruises, etc. So these are the sectors that I have briefly outlined. More detailed presentation on this will be made by the states, and then discussions that will follow in the B2B, B2G meetings. Just like to quickly update the House on what we've done so far. For the Hyderabad Roadshow, we've had, I think, close to 350 registrations, and many of you who are present here, so thank you for that. In Bombay, we had, I think, close to 400 odd registrations and about 300 attendees. So the going is good, the momentum is building up for the Northeast Global Investor Summit. At the state level, we've had participation of over 290 investors. Thus far, before coming to Hyderabad, we've got a commitment of over 40,000 crores already. The states have identified a shelf of investable projects, which they will talk about. We've held state roundtables. I want to emphasize here that this is not a Ministry of Donor show. This is Ministry of Donor acting just as a catalyst, as a facilitator. It is actually the states which own these projects. It's the states which will be talking to you and telling you about the opportunities a little more. During the state roundtables, we've actually had an opportunity to share learnings about investment promotions with the states amongst themselves. There has been policy benchmarking, etc. Ease of doing business. 6 out of the 8 states already have single window systems. The other 2 are work in progress, which will be completed very shortly. Industrial promotion agencies are being set up, and industrial land banks have already been identified for the purpose of industry. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. I would once again welcome all of you to the Northeast. Thank you very much.
We have some people here who are from Hyderabad, who have invested in the region, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to listen to them. May I invite Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Singh, Head Strategic Business Development from Resustainability Limited, formerly Ramki.
I think this is one wonderful step taken by Department of Northeast Region and the audience present and the guests present for having this show at Hyderabad. Selecting Hyderabad as one of the cities for doing this kinds of roadshow and telling us about what are the potentials in the Northeast region is really a good thing. And as far as the company where I have been asked, I have to share my experience of working in Northeast. I would just like to say that we are from RE Sustainability Limited, and the company is right now mainly doing all kinds of resource recovery and reuse, get more material out of the waste which is being generated by each one of us, by the industries, by the hospitals, by the construction demolition, by the electronic waste, and whatever is not being used, we are doing that. We are present not only in 29 states across the country, but we are also present in the Middle East, in US and in Singapore. We are handling more than 25,000 clients across the world, and we are present across all the globe. The major focus of the company is to ensure that the waste management should not become a waste management, but it should become a resource recovery which gives less waste going to the environment. So we are into reduction, we are into resource recovery, we are into reuse of the waste. Hyderabad is one of the largest, having the largest resource recovery plant in Dundigal here and in Jawahar Nagar. If anyone wishes to, from the Northeast, if anyone wishes to see it, it is a live example to see how 8,000 tons of municipal garbage, the entire waste which the entire Northeast 8 states are generating, is getting handled here. Not only that, more than 12 lakh metric tons of hazardous waste is getting managed across the country in different states. Also, roughly around 45,000 beds of hospital waste is getting handled. So when it comes to Northeast, what we understand, and it was a very clear understanding that what is the potential of the states. It has got all kinds of landlocked states, states which is having shares boundary to the sea, states which have boundaries to the international neighbors. So it has got a lot of potential. Government is already doing a lot of work to ensure that there is the connectivity, which was a major issue, and over the last few years we are seeing that the connectivity overall has increased a lot. We get many places reachable with a single stop or maybe direct stop by flight. So the connectivity and the growth has been a very high potential in the entire state. With that, we started working to look into how that we can protect the pristine environment by ensuring that the waste which is coming out from the different processes in the state gets managed and there is no pollution to the environment. So in the last 3.5 years, we have been able to interact with each of the corporations there, municipal corporations, government and industrial development corporations. And we have got a very good overwhelming response from the government through these institutions. Right now we have been able to have agreements with 3 states. One is Assam, for which we are catering to provide the hazardous waste management for the waste coming out from the drilling units of all the oil units there. So the plant is likely to get operational in another 8 months or so. It is coming up at Dibrugarh. The other plant we worked with the Arunachal Pradesh government for setting up of a biomedical facility, because the state lacks all this waste which is coming out from the treatment of the hospitals, and these wastes are highly contagious. This needs to be treated within 48 hours as per regulation, and they cannot be just thrown anywhere. With the COVID experience, the government has become very keen there, and we have set up a facility in Arunachal Pradesh. We are also working very closely with Sikkim for handling all their pharma waste which is coming out. So these are the 3 states, and by doing so, there is an overwhelming response from the government to put in the facilities in their states or their cities. The response from the government has been really worth, and I would like to mention that they are giving so much of priority because basically this is a waste resource recovery is such an important activity that not only brings in whether international investors, but also is a requirement of the time, both in terms of human and nature environment. So the response has been very positive, sir. And whether it is terms of clearances, whether it comes of a permitting, and even we are getting support in terms of some financial incentives. I wish this should continue, and this is what I would just like to congratulate all the states of Northeast region and the organizers to organize this such kind of event. These are the things I would just like to close on. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to share our experience.
This is just one example of how the Northeast is facilitating and attracting investments. To add to this, may I now invite Mr. Nagaraju AL, he is Managing Director of Devi Energies, to share his experience in the Northeast.
We have taken up the initiative of developing a hydropower project in Arunachal Pradesh in the year 2014. Our project is one among 161 licenses government has allotted to various companies. Over the time, this is the only project that has seen the light. I want to confine myself to cover the contribution and the support that I received from the government while execution of this project, and the infrastructure availability while executing this project, and the availability of the manpower. These are the main issues for any industry to grow up. Coming to the government support, this is an extraordinary initiative from the government, and they have really extended their best cooperation from time to time. But this being a Himalayan state, most of the terrain is hilly terrain. This state borders with almost 4 countries. There are infrastructure bottlenecks, like in terms of transmission system availability, connecting roads, availability of skilled manpower. Somehow, we overcame all these issues, and then we commissioned this project in 2019. This project serves the villages and the districts bordering Bhutan and China, West Kameng, East Kameng and Tawang. Now, we are looking forward to develop a couple of such projects, both hydro and solar projects in the northeastern states. After this meeting is over, we will explore with other states. I really appreciate this kind of initiative from FICCI and northeastern states. We look forward to attend such kind of things to mobilize investments in the prospective states.
Thank you, Mr. Nagaraju, for your kind and encouraging words. I'm sure many of you would have taken note of the positive experience that he has had in the Northeast. May I now invite, we are privileged to have with us actually the Secretary, Northeastern Council. The Northeastern Council is a regional planning body and coordinates a lot of developmental work in the Northeast. Mr. Moses Chalai, the Secretary of the Council, is here with us. May I request him to kindly deliver the special address.
To this second investment promotion roadshow in Hyderabad, which is the prelude to the much anticipated Northeast Global Investor Summit, which is going to be the first of its kind for the NER. Though we understand that many states, including the state of Telangana, they conduct these events regularly, and they have resulted in tremendous, in fact, incoming of investment and growth in the past. And therefore, it's time that we also are, getting ready to move in that path. The intent and action happening is consistent and for quite some time, and our aim is to unlock the immense potential within Northeast region of the country. One is that, yes, we are, as also have amply shown, particularly by Harpreet, and what are all those potentials that are there, the opportunities that can be availed. But we are also here to say that, the team, whether it's Ministry of Donor, whether it's FICCI, Invest India, NSC, and more important, equally important is the states themselves, the 8 states of the NER. They all are here to support and facilitate in a very, very focused and consistent manner to every investor who would come for investment and trade. And as also mentioned, this is in line with what the Honorable Prime Minister and the other leaders of the country have been, including my own minister, Minister of Donor, has been emphasizing for quite some time as the new growth engine of the country of India. Prime Minister also has, Honorable Prime Minister also has emphasized time and again how investment and economic growth needs to, come to NER, which will eventually lead to this generation of employment or creation of jobs. Substantial investment has taken place. The 10% GBS, gross budgetary support, that comes from the non-exempted ministries and departments of Government of India. And this is apart from the fiscal transfers which the states also get from Government of India, and also their own internal resource generations. What I'm trying to say that much is happening in the region. For instance, in the last 5 years, some 3,100 kilometers of roads worth of about 58,000 crores have been completed. And quite a few of them are 4-way laning, and most of it are double laning. Railways have sanctioned for about 2,000 kilometers with worth about 74,000 crores of rupees. And in fact, scores and scores of tunnels which has been built running in hundreds of kilometers, and day and night work is happening on the ground. Aviation has seen such a boon. The last few years, we all who come from Northeast will bear testimony to this fact, to the extent that today Guwahati has flight about 91 flights. The last count starts at 5:30 a.m. in the morning and ends at about 11:30 p.m. in the night. And likewise, there are other airports which are also coming up very fast. Imphal, Agartala, and all other airports. And the number of flights within and without the region is increasing by the day. And that power availability definitely is much, much better. In fact, many, even in the rural area, we're getting 18 hours, 20 hours in a day power. Though from state to state it differs, but everyone is picking up. There are about infrastructure, when we talk about 2,000 branches of banks, of which about 900 are SBI, State Bank of India. Health sector is picking up in a big way. Education, yes, definitely. And the other day I was interacting with this USTM, one university, private, which has come up in Badihat in Meghalaya, border of Assam and Meghalaya. They have about 5,000 students within about 10 years. And they are aiming 10,000 students within the campus. And it's within striking distance. Likewise, quite a few other universities and educational institutions have come up. The law and order, by and large, has improved considerably. Many places, I think they're definitely much safer than other parts of the country. You know, we do have some area which are of concern. Unfortunately, of course, we are here in my own state, that is Manipur, of late has not been in news for the best of reasons. But I know overall it has improved, and which means that, of course, we are in a climate of, which will support good business. So need of the hour is private investment. We are surrounded more than 95–96% by foreign countries, as we all know, and surrounded by some of the fastest growing economies of the world. ASEAN countries in the east, the north, China, which is the second biggest, and in terms of PPP, said to have overtaken USA. Bangladesh south, of course, Bhutan north, which of course is a small economy in that sense. But all this put together also shows that the region can do as well as the neighbors. And it's something really a point for all of us to think about. You know, the resources of various kinds are available, which has been presented in the last presentation. I will not repeat them. And we do have a good number and population of bright, young, educated, and creative population willing to join, and wanting to join, in fact, the workforce. Very, very important. So you can also get a good set of talented, creative, and bright, educated workforce. I would also want to share that we also have dynamic and very open and willing political leadership. Some of our chief ministers are among the brightest, and they all know much more open to economic development, investment, and private sector to take over this aspect of growth. As I said, the infrastructure will be taken by, we were saying, the government. But the biggest mismatch is the lack of inadequate investment happening from the private sector. And that's where we would like to urge and plead with you that you need to come, and that the environment, the overall, that ecosystem is gearing up to receive the investment, unlike even in recent past. And we also have got very bright, very knowledgeable, and passionate team of officials and bureaucracy. That's also very, very important. Very quick to catch up. So all this put together, plus the connectivity we have mentioned about, but it's also important that the Matarbari, that deep seaport, which is only about 70 kilometers from, I think, Sabrum, if I got it correctly. That Sabrum is the tip point of the Tripura, and all the railways are converging into Tripura and to Sabrum. And from there, we can jump into Bay of Bengal. And from there, we can bring in the raw materials, the products, and also our producers and products can come out. To have access to the sea is extremely important, and that's happening now. The other is that, of course, river waterways, which a lot is happening, and the ministry himself is from the region, And so through Brahmaputra and Ganga, we can also link up to the Bay of Bengal and to the rest of the world and the country. Very, very important, and one area that now the region is focused. Therefore, that landlocked and that that disadvantage that we have will be to a good extent overcome by this development. And Matarabari, that deep seaport, which will be able to house and anchor and bring the biggest of sea vessels, ships, we should be ready by 2027. The Japanese team, the Japanese government is fully into that and very, very focused in. But apart from that, we also have got a population of about 5 crores within the region. That itself, don't you think, is a very good market? So, in fact, I know that, import substitute, so to say, is also one area that can be seriously thought of it, and you will also have good market from the region. Very important. And also I'm about to conclude, the IT is one area that can really, really come up. We, of course, have got the agro-based industries, tourism, which can be very, very big, the education, the medical, all of them put together, all very important. But I would like to emphasize on this, that IT, which does not discriminate. 15, 20 years back when we read about news, internet, one thing everyone used to say, and I'm told this was quoted somewhere in a meeting abroad, was that, the people from the third world countries says that internet does not discriminate, So the net, which is coming and it's picking up. In fact, we are also getting now some from the international gateway from Cox's Bazar also start coming into the broadband to the region. And therefore we are ready. Any business which can be done through technology in IT. And technology, IT is extremely important. It's no coincidence today that the 5 biggest capitalized companies are pure in the world, 4 are pure technology. And out of 5, brick and mortar is only 1. We all know that Aramco, Saudi Aramco. So it's no coincidence that the internet, the net, the 5G, the 4.0 industry is coming in a big way, and it's here to stay. And that's where the region is much more better prepared. That's how I see than many other places. On 22nd June, my friend Mr. Tari is also here, Hage Tari. We all were there in Pasigat, and we did a very, very quiet initiation of these 5G applications. I'm made to understand that the 5G applications have not happened much across the country. The technologies are there, but not really deployed on the ground. And if they're there, I'm not very sure where are they, but it has happened in Northeast. And it's picking up the 5G applications. And all the 4.0 industry, whether it's Internet of Things, 5G applications, artificial intelligence, machine learning, 3D printing, very, very important. They all are interrelated, and they are here. We are facing them every day, and the region, I think, can really pick up in this region, in this part. So please think seriously to come to us with this possible investment in this area. Finally, I would like to say that the NER states, Ministry of Donor, FICCI, Invest India, and the NSC, and all of us are here to help and facilitate in a very focused, consistent manner, unlike maybe in the past, and the time to invest in Northeast region is now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very insightful speech. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of the first part of this program, the first session, it's my pleasant task to thank you all I'll not take much of your time, but would definitely like to thank you all for joining us. Mr. Moses Chalai, the Secretary NEC, thank you, sir, for speaking to us, for being here. It was very insightful listening to you. Mr. Harpreet Singh, Joint Secretary Donor, thank you, sir, for the brilliant presentation that we had. Mr. Ramaraju, thank you for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, as the Secretary NEC pointed out, you see, thank you very much for that, sir, that you highlighted the international connect that the Northeast has. The Northeast, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the map, is truly India's gateway to the East, not just Southeast Asia, to the East. You see, with the existing connectivity agreements that we have with Bangladesh, the existing agreements that we have with Myanmar, the projects that are being developed, the Northeast is actually ready to start trading, to start doing business with all these countries, and it has begun. This is the time when people should take advantage and invest in the Northeast to be the first mover. One example is the riverways. In Bangladesh, with Bangladesh, India has a protocol on transportation through riverways, which gives us access to their riverways and which gives us access to the ports in Chittagong and Mongla, and now very soon to the port at Matabari. Just imagine the amount of trade that can flow through the riverways, given that the riverways are a much cheaper way of transporting goods and passengers. Anybody investing in vessels operating in the riverways, I think, would make a killing. I know there are many people here who are from Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh has a wide shipping industry, a very impressive shipping industry. I think you could look at that opportunity also. Then the Northeast has a huge repository of medicinal plants. Hyderabad being a hub of pharmaceuticals, I think that's one area you should look at. Every state has something to offer. You should definitely look at that. And states like Sikkim, to some extent Assam, have already become pharmaceutical hubs. Most of the major companies have set up operations in these states. And I think if you are not there, you are missing the bus. Please join us in the Northeast. So there are many other areas, tourism, many other areas which have been highlighted. Let me not go into details. You will all be meeting the state governments after this session. And then we have presentations by the state governments also. But suffice it to say, the Northeast is a region which you cannot afford to ignore if you really want to grow your business. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us and welcome to the Northeast. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would have liked to give a short break for tea. But then, given that we are a little behind schedule, I think I would like to continue with the presentations. Tea is, of course, available outside. Anybody feeling thirsty can please step out, pick up a cup of tea, and come back inside. We'll move on to the next session. The first presentation we have is from Mr. Nikhil Pant. He is founder of Lakshya and a former chief program executive of the National Foundation for CSR, IICA Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. So, Mr. Nikhil Pant, over to you.
I was with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs about 10 years ago when the CSR mandate was initiated and it became part of the Companies Act 2013. As of 1st of April 2014 it started. In fact, this is the 10th year of CSR. The topic of my presentation over the next 12 to 15 minutes is opportunities of investment under the CSR in the Northeast region. The opportunity for CSR to partner the Northeast is never better as compared to what it is today. In fact, in the morning today only I received the latest newsletter from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs where they have highlighted the importance of, and I'm just going to show this to you before I actually even start, that Control L. If you see, I don't know, this is sounding too small, I guess. Is it a little better like this? While you can't read this, I will just read out the newsletter. It says, in contrast, the government has just come out with a circular basis data assessment. And it says that there is very lopsided investment of CSR. There has been more than 1 lakh of crores spent on CSR over the last 8 to 9 years. And if you see that the amount spent on CSR in the Northeast is almost about 1%. So I'm just reading out what the ministry has written to all the corporates. And I thought I would mention this, sir, before I actually start the presentation, because I came across this newsletter only in the morning today. It says, in contrast, the northeast states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura received a mere 0.91% of the funds in FY 2021. Some other reasons could be the lack of infrastructure and resources for implementing CSR projects in the region, for which I believe that capacity building is a major requirement. And in fact, the IDAN team is here. Can the IDAN team please raise their hand? Part of that group took a CSR course that we conducted from one of the CSRs, which is the HCL Foundation. Partly it could be because lack of awareness about the importance of CSR among companies operating in the regions receiving lower funds. This is concerning. Now the ministry is saying, this is concerning as the smaller regions are the most socio-economically and culturally diverse in the country and have a high incidence of poverty and underdevelopment. It is imperative. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs is using the word imperative. It is imperative that there is a balance of local area preference with national priorities to avoid any concentration of CSR funds in specific regions. The board of the corporations may, on their own initiative, be required to take measures needed to augment the CSR funds for areas where development is needed. So this is a very important, I would say, advisory that the ministry has given to all the corporates through this newsletter, which is a monthly newsletter. In my presentation, I'm going to try to mention that this year being the G20 presidency for India, we are all aware that there has been a slowdown because of post-COVID, economic slowdown across the world. It is a great opportunity for corporates to invest in those areas where government is rolling out the red carpet. And as I heard from the morning from the secretary, from the joint secretary and the others who spoke, that the bureaucracy is very welcoming, the people are friendly, and the government, as I have just mentioned, the ministry, the controlling ministry for the corporates, which is the MCA, is exhorting corporates that please take your CSR over there. Don't make it very disproportionate. Now, within the G20 mandate, if you see, green growth development, the red ones, accelerating progress on SDGs and especially women-led development. I can see a lot of women leaders here. Women-led development is being given a lot of primacy. And it has to be kept in mind that if corporates who want to align with the government mandate and if there is a recommendation or an advisory from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, I would advise corporates here that as a matter of strategy, as a matter of business strategy, whether it is just for the Northeast or it is for their overall operations, they need to keep an ear on the ground, but also an eye on the ministry, which is the controlling ministry. Now, if you see, CSR can play a very, very catalyzing role. If you want to invest in business, if CSR goes in first, you have better relationships with the government machinery, you have better connects with the community, and the stakeholders all come together on the same platform. So what I'm trying to present here, and I met the secretary at the M Donor Ministry about a week ago, and then the joint secretary as well, and I'm so thankful that they've given me an opportunity to speak here, because when the law began 10 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that team in the ministry, the clear intent was that CSR fund is not absolute money. It has to be used catalytically. It has to be used to catalyze development in that area. Now, when I go ahead and I see the list of activities which are permitted under Schedule 7, the list of activities which are permitted activities under Schedule 7 are also matching those activities which the ministry is talking about, and I heard the secretary and the joint secretary talk about the various areas where the Ministry of Donor is trying to promote business investment. So if I'm a business investor, if I'm a corporate guy, and I want to develop a strategy, a vision plan, I would like to see that can my CSR with its permitted activities like health, if you see number 1, number 2, promoting education, number 3, gender, number 4, environment, number 5, protection of national heritage and culture, etc. There is a clear overlap between CSR and what the ministry is encouraging business to do. So, what is the message over here? The message is that if I want my business to grow, I want to make some strategic investments. And a good, wise strategic investment could be to go with your CSR first in the Northeast and then bring your business in over there. The moment you do that, you will find that the entire system becomes much more engaging with you. Now, what we have done over here is to present some insights. If you see, about 1.27 lakhs crore is the total money that has been spent on CSR from 1st April 2014 till 31st March 2021. Out of this, 1798 CR on the top right is what has come to the Northeast, which is about 1.4%. The ministry newsletter that I just shared with you says that in one of those years, which is the year 2021, it was only 0.9%. So on an average, it is only 1.4%, with Assam getting about 80% of that, and Mizoram, very little amount, 0.2%, 0.28%. So the Mizoram team which is here will maybe have to more proactively, promote their businesses and also take their CSR thought process with them. If I look at sector-wise, if I look at health, eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition, safe drinking water, sanitation, the total amount spent in these 8-9 years is 25,274 crores. Out of that, only 550 crores has been spent in the Northeast, which is just 2.1% that you see on the red. Only 2.1% of the CSR allocation in these key areas of health, hunger, poverty, malnutrition, etc. is coming through CSR to the Northeast. If I see education, differently abled and livelihoods in the Northeast, 32,095 crores is the money that has been spent from 2014 to 21. Out of that, only 845 crores have come to the Northeast, and which is about 2.6%. So you see that the percentage of total spending in the country and what is going into the Northeast is very, very minuscule. This is very alarming because, as I'm hearing from my earlier speaker, there is so much of potential for business, and there is so much of alignment between business and CSR, and also sustainable development goals. And I'm sure a lot of corporates who are here are also doing ESG reporting. ESG reporting is now becoming more and more relevant. If I see environment, animal welfare, conservation of resources in the Northeast, 6,183 crores have been spent from 2014 to 21. Only 111 crore, 111 crores have come to the Northeast, which is only 1.8%. So improving agriculture, environment. So if you see in all of these earlier ones, if you see the bottom right, these are key mandate areas where the ministry is wanting corporates to come forward. And if I look at gender equality, women empowerment, old age homes, reducing inequalities, etc., around 2,397 crores has been spent. Out of this, only 55 crores have come to the Northeast, and which is 2.3%. Now, sports. Sports is a major area in the Northeast. I think I heard the Joint Secretary mention about sports, and we know so many legends of sports coming from the Northeast like Manipur. Just look at only 2.8%. Now you're talking about winning more gold medals at Paris, which is the next Olympics. But look at the kind of investment on CSR which is going there, where you have the talent. So if you are business people, you are seeing the talent and you want the country to achieve something, why are we not putting our money over there in CSR? That is a fallacy, and one needs to really wake up on this. If I see within this pie of 1.4% average, which I've said, broadly, if you see, 47% is broadly going into the areas like education, differently abled livelihoods, encouraging sports. So if you see some of these areas, this money distribution in sectors accounts for 1.4%. Only 10% of the total CSR in the Northeast has gone towards sports, environment, and women. So this chart shows that whatever money has gone to the Northeast, where is it going across the sectors? Major chunk of the investment is going to human resources and education and livelihood, which is good, and we must push for that. But if you see the bottom left, only 10% is going towards sports. Out of the little money that is going, very little is going into sports and human development in that sense. Now, what does all of this data tell us? All of this data is, if you see from the bottom of the page, at the bottom left, this is entirely sourced from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This is basis the MCA 21 filings that the corporates do, that all of you who are here must be filing. What is the role now that the ministry is trying to play, the Ministry of Donor? And that's why I'm so happy that they gave me an opportunity, because I work very closely with corporates. I'm working with corporates like ONGC, which have huge interest in the Northeast, and they would be more than willing to come forward, I am sure. I'm also working with the HCL Tech, the HCL Foundation, and in fact the IDAN team is one of the beneficiaries there. We've done capacity building for them. India Infoline Foundation, they are very eager to start a project on skill development in Tezu in Arunachal Pradesh. I'm already in touch with Gitima over here. My thanks to her team. You know, when I went to Shillong in Meghalaya, IBM is very keen to come forward, and the projects are about to roll out. So the big corporates who are understanding this game are wanting to play it in a very strategic as well as tactical manner. Now, I'm just listing and summarizing a few points over here, that direct interface with concerned governments. I think it is a forum like this which is so relevant. Capacity building of NGOs is a key requirement. I travel across the country, and in fact in the last 6 weeks I've traveled to about 8 to 12 cities, right from north, east, south to central India, and met about 2,500 NGOs as part of my work. Capacity building is a major lacking area, and we have to prepare them. So in fact, my request to the ministry here also and to Invest India is that strengthening NGOs in terms of CSR compliances and project impact is very important. It is also important that we develop a shelf of CSR projects, because if a corporate wants to go but the NGOs are not ready, I think the IDAN people, when they speak next after me, they will share their experience. I think they have been early movers in this regard, and they are having some good experiences on CSR to share. Assisting NGOs to develop a business case for their corporate CSR partners. Also, we have to teach the NGOs in the Northeast, because if you do good CSR project, the brand grows. If the brand grows, the business also grows as a corollary. Also aligning CSR outcomes to achieving SDGs for corporate as part of their ESG strategy. So somewhere I would request all the stakeholders here that when we are looking at the Northeast, we have to see the kind of engagement models that we can create. We have to capacity build the NGOs, and CSR partnerships, if they get engineered, they will lead to the development of a conducive business and investment environment. Strategically, lot of big business. In fact, I was there when in Meghalaya last year. Somebody from the Reliance Foundation, the chairman's office was there. So a lot of corporates are sending their representatives to the Northeast to scout as to how fertile the land is for CSR investment, because that for them becomes a testing ground for business investment to come in. So my request to all who are here is this, that if we are able to very closely understand this dynamics, we would appreciate that if we want the Northeast to grow and if we want our businesses to grow, Northeast is a great place. And to begin there, if I begin my venture there through CSR by testing the waters, by creating my engagement with government, with civil society, because the same government and the same civil society will also be the consumers of your goods and services as you want to expand your businesses. The circular or the newsletter from the ministry which has come out today, I would request the FICCI team to share it with all of you. I did share it over here. This is, if you go to the MCA website, you can download this newsletter. I foresee that all the companies who are here, that you may very soon get a letter or maybe a circular or maybe a gazette notification from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs mentioning and stating that you please prioritize these areas where money needs to grow and needs to go in terms of CSR spending. So it may be wise for all of us to be a little ahead of the curve, and I think roadshows like this prepare us for that.
Thank you, Mr. Pant, for the wonderful presentation on the CSR opportunities that the Northeast has to offer. And thank you also for sticking to the time. I think that's very important, because we have a number of B2G meetings lined up after this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Pant mentioned, we have the IDAN team, the Investment Development Authority of Nagaland. They have had a lot of experience in terms of CSR investments and other investments in the state of Nagaland, and they would like to share their experience with all of us. May I invite the ASEAN representatives to come and make a quick presentation, please.
Like our previous speaker has mentioned, our state, we were unable to attract much of the CSR spendings in our state. So when we were researching into the CSR activities in our state, we realized that it was so haphazard and there was no uniformity in its implementation. And moreover, when we started reviewing the spendings of CSR in our state in FY 2020-21, we found out that our state, we received only 8 crore spending on CSR. So we started to have a thought process on what we should do as a state entity, what we should do in order to attract CSR investment on social investment into our state. So accordingly, we thought that we will be coming up with certain plans and actions so that we attract CSR into our state. So we devised a strategy where we said that we will organize a conclave on CSR. And ultimately, the conclave was held in August 2023 last year. Coinciding with our CSR conclave, we also incorporated the CSR, not only CSR, but investment and the banking conclave, because we also wanted to rejuvenate our local market. So we were very honored that our Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, she willingly came and graced the occasion as our chief guest. And after the conclave, we enhanced for the past 7 months, we enhanced our CSR expenditure in our state to more than 380 plus crore we have attracted the CSR investment till date. So some of the methods that we have employed was, we started connecting with Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and they were so helpful, and they connected ASEAN through their respective ROCs across India. So we were trying to connect with different companies with the help and intervention of the ROCs. Even then, we were unable to get in touch with, we were unable to connect because ASEAN was not so much recognized maybe. So ultimately, our chief secretary and our senior officers were so helpful. They came personally, our chief secretary started writing and sending out mails to different companies through the official email handle and making a carbon copy to our Investment and Development Authority, from where we started picking up and making connect with different companies. And the Invest India and the Confederation of Indian Industries were very willingly coming forward and assisting us, and we partnered with both Invest India and CII to bring in CSR into our state. So for that, we started preparing shelf of projects, different shelf of projects. We started collecting shelf of projects from the district level, from the departments, from the NGOs, and we started to make a database on the shelf of projects that we have. And we also started creating the donor database. We also started collecting the NGO database, and we started compiling with all these informations. And we also started having a partnership like with the HCL Academy. We need to capacitate our NGOs in order to implement CSR appropriately. So our HCL Academy was very, very helpful, and we partnered with them. We started training our officials, government officials, even the NGOs, and the first batch is already completed. The second batch is still ongoing. Thank you, HCL. We take this opportunity to thank you, the HCL Academy, for the initiatives that you have done for our state. So in our state CSR cell, we provide one-stop solution. We have developed our own model, which is called H model, where we first engage, then we disengage, we guide and re-engage again with the companies in order to implement the CSR policy in our CSR spending in our state. So these are some of the pictures, some of the projects that we have implemented. The livelihood, we have implemented the solar coal storages across the state. We have also started the 10-bedded dialysis center. We have intervened in different sectors.
Thank you so much for highlighting your experience and Again, thank you for sticking to the time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentations that we have all been looking forward to. We have with us the Secretary, Government of Tripura for the Department of IT, Mr. Kiran Gitte. Over to you, sir.
Tripura is located in the southwest part of the northeastern region of India. The state is strategically located with close proximity to Bangladesh and access to the entire Southeast Asian market. Blessed with rich natural bounties, Tripura, an erstwhile princely state, is a pristine haven of bewitching natural beauty. The state wields abundant natural resources and acclaimed potential for international trade. During the last few decades, the state has started transforming towards inclusive growth. In recent years, a number of initiatives have been taken to improve the basic as well as industrial infrastructure in the state. The national highway linking Agartala to Guwahati has been upgraded and extended up to Sabroom, just 75 kilometers away from Chittagong port of Bangladesh. Riverine connectivity from Daudkandi in Bangladesh to Sonamura in Tripura for movement of ships by dredging of Gomti River is being explored, which would link the Chittagong, Haldia and Ashuganj port. Also, signing of the BBIN motor vehicle agreement, opening up of Chittagong port, bus service between Agartala, Dhaka, Kolkata, and other initiatives have unfolded new avenues for transit and transshipment in the region. The state capital Agartala is now connected by broad gauge railway, which is already extended up to Sabroom. Agartala is also being connected to Bangladesh by railway. Agartala Airport, recently renamed as Maharaja Bir Bikram Airport, is the second busiest airport in the northeast. This airport is now being further upgraded as an international airport. The state is presently power surplus and power tariffs are low. Two large gas thermal power generation projects, ONGC Tripura Power Project and NEEPCO Monarchak, are already commissioned. Besides, Tripura is the third internet gateway after Chennai and Mumbai. BSNL has leased 10 Gbps bandwidth from Bangladesh Submarine Cable Company Limited. Tripura has a vast pool of educated and trained manpower, vibrant pool of youth, competent and eager to support industrial growth. Tripura has also achieved significant improvement in developing industrial infrastructure. As of now, Tripura has an industrial growth center, an export promotion industrial park, a food park, a bamboo park, a rubber park, an apparel park, and 6 industrial estates. 3 IIDCs are also being developed. Tripura is the second largest rubber producing state in the country, and production is expected to increase at a fast pace.
Yeah, thank you for showing that presentation. Secretary NAC Cholai sir, senior officers, industry and business leaders present here. Tripura is one of the beautiful states of Northeast. By size, we are the third smallest, and by population, the 7th smallest. We have a good economy, especially after the peace which has set in the state in last 2 decades. We are growing at double digit. Our per capita income and GSDP indicates that. And there are a lot of unexplored opportunities in Tripura. We have abundance of natural resources like rubber, natural gas, bamboo. We have a very good access. Even though if you see the map, we seem to be remotest by geographical location, but we have a Rajdhani coming from Delhi. We have trains to many places in India, direct trains, I mean to say. direct flight connectivity with Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, then hopping flights to Ahmedabad and so on. We have a very proactive government. You might have seen that in the last month during the Parliament's inauguration, bamboo floorings of Tripura were showcased in the new Parliament building. So our products are finding their rightful place in the country. If you see the industrial infrastructure, we have industrial estates which are provided with roads, power, gas connections, security, and the logistic support, the packaging support that we need. So all along the state, all along the national highway and the railways, we have the industrial estates spread across. We have, these are some pictures. So if you see the infrastructure, we have national highway, which is a lifeline for Tripura, and there is a one parallel national highway which is being constructed, which is this year we will complete it. So we will have redundancy to two national highways. The new one will be going across the Bangladesh border, mainly through the plain land. So the issues of disruption of the road connectivity during the rainy season will not occur. We have third international internet gateway in Agartala, as it was presented. We have railways across the state, right from the north tip to the southern tip, which is near the Chitgaon port till Sabroom. Agartala is the second busiest airport after Guwahati, and from September it will be connected to the Cox's Bazar also. We have a good literacy rate, 90 plus literacy rate in the state. We have good skilled manpower available. So the infrastructure, this I would like to highlight that we have framed a Tripura Industrial Investment Promotion Incentive Scheme 2022. This is in addition to the Government of India's incentive scheme. And there are 18 incentives offered under this. So I would request you to go through this. We will provide during our meeting in the afternoon. And we have also sectoral policies like IT startup scheme, then Agarwood, I would like to highlight, then IT policy, then we have logistics policy and so on. So the opportunities which are there in Tripura are mainly in the sector of rubber, bamboo, food processing, tourism, IT, and agar processing. Few investable projects are rubber. We have assessed investment potential of 1100 crores, bamboo, all the components, bamboo tiles, furniture, 1000 crores, food processing 500 crores, tourism and healthcare 1000 crores, IT 500 crores, and agar 500 crores. These are some of the areas where we think, and others are also mentioned. So rest of the things we'll discuss in the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful presentation on the opportunities in the state of Tripura. I think this would have encouraged many of us to explore further, and the government of Tripura will be available in the B2G hall today after this session. Please take advantage of their presence. May I now invite the beautiful Himalayan state of Sikkim, and we have with us Mr. M.L. Srivastav, the Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Sikkim, and very aptly he looks after the tourism department also. Over to you, sir.
Sikkim is the home of the mighty Kanchenjunga, the highest peak in India. Revered as the guardian deity of this land, its presence creates a unique ecosystem in the region. Covering just 0.22% of India's total geographical area, Sikkim contains an astounding 26% of the biodiversity in the country. The first organic state in the world. We achieved this incredible feat in 2016, an accomplishment recognized by the United Nations. Sikkim is the most peaceful state in India with the lowest crime rate. There are 21 distinct communities that live here. The shared cultures and history have woven all who live here into a robust fabric of peace and harmony. Sikkim is young and educated. The literacy rate here is over 88% and ranks first in the country for enrollment to higher education. There is a large pool of skilled manpower in the state ready to be tapped. Sikkim is a power surplus state and ranks second in the country in the field of generating power from renewable resources. Sikkim is connected. It has one of the highest road density in the country, connecting every corner of the state with the newly established Greenfield Airport and a railway line due to be completed in 2023. The state gears up to get connected to mainland India like never before. Sikkim is the land of beauty, bounty, and boundless possibilities. Tourism is a major industry in Sikkim and is the mainstay of its economy. To encourage the growth of tourism, the state government focuses on giving boost to adventure, wellness, medical, village and heli tourism. Sikkim is the world's first certified organic state. By 2025, the organic farming in India is estimated to be worth around 75,000 crores. Setting up of organic food processing unit and cold chain storage facilities are a priority.
Very good morning to you all. Secretary NEC, Mr. Moses, the Joint Secretary Donair, M. Donair, the whole team of M. Donair, Fiki, my colleagues on the dais, captains of the industries, ladies and gentlemen. So I will not repeat what has already been shown in the video. Because of the paucity of time, I had to stop the video. Most of the things had been shown, more or less, the SUPs of the state of Sikkim. Sikkim is a very unique state, very wide biodiversity, 0.2% of the total geographical area of the country, and 1/4 of the biodiversity, 0.2 and 25%. It has many firsts in the country, in the northeastern region. I will not repeat that. There are 6 districts and very small state, of course, 7096 square kilometers. Literacy rate is 81.4%, but now this is as per the 2011 census. Now it has crossed 90%. GSDP per capita, it is highest in the country. And other things are there. We are improving on the connectivity. Peace is our SUP because Sikkim we got last year only the National Award for the law and order situation. Most improvement, highest improvement in the law and order and the environment. These 2 awards we got. Connectivity, I mentioned that because for any investment, you need to have very good connectivity. Peace, I mentioned. Law and order, I mentioned. We are going to have our railway link, rail BG, broad gauge, entering into Sikkim and will be operational from next year. We are under international UDAN and we are improving connectivity with other parts of the country. There is a direct flight from Delhi to Pakyong. Pakyong is very close to Gangtok. And of course, nearest airport is Bagdogra, which is connected. It's an international airport. And why to invest in Sikkim? I have already mentioned the SUPs. It has very high strategic locational advantage, connected with having boundaries with 3 international boundaries, you see, Nepal, Tibetan, China and Bhutan. And very diverse climatic conditions, environmentally very progressive and proactive state, I mentioned earlier also, and world's first certified 100% organic state. So a lot of opportunities. And around 543 wetlands, 315 glacial lakes, a very plethora of these natural endowments. High hydropower capacity, we have already 23 hydropower projects operational, and under the mini and micro hydropower potential, around 1000 megawatt is still there. So we invite the captains of industries, particularly in the hydropower sector also. Highest per capita and literacy rate I have already mentioned. Can you switch from here? I mentioned about the enabling infrastructure, connectivity, I will not dwell upon again. Education and skilled infrastructure. We have a number of universities now, 1 central university, 3 state universities, and a number of private universities have come up. And we have a very strong technical manpower available in the state of Sikkim. We have technical graduates, BTechs, medical graduates available, and we have other institutions like I have mentioned here, SICB, SIRD under Education Department, and technical institutes, ITIs. Social infrastructure, I have listed here. Around 52,000 keys per day are available for tourists to come there, and we can sustain them. Around 1.8 million tourists are coming in a year, and projection is around 2 million. So you can make it out around 7 lakh population and 2 million tourists coming per annum. We have around 1,200 homestays already functional, and 1,000 more homestays are being added up. Industrial infrastructure I have already populated here. Approach roads, government and private land banks available. Existing industrial parks, these are 2, there are 2 already there, and proposed are 2 more are proposed. Yeah. So policy and regulatory support. Under the policy regime, the Sikkim industrial policy has been framed up and it is being formed up for government approval. We are working on the sectoral policies like tourism investment policy, MSME policy, power policy, labor policy. Somebody was mentioning, asking in the morning. That is also part of the overall this investment policy. So these policies are firmed up and sent to the government. These will be components of the overall industrial policy. Sectoral policy, as I mentioned, already there. So these are also, these are already done. I mean, these are in place. State priority sectors, tourism, as you see, it is the mainstay of the Sikkim economy. And we have a number of new areas under the tourism, the Joint Secretary M. Donner mentioned about the MICE tourism, the Alpine tent city we are thinking of developing, the caravan tourism, educational tourism, so and destination weddings. These are very important areas. One-hop destination, bringing better connectivity with the international connectivity, as I mentioned, with Nepal, Dhaka, Paro. So these are also in the offing, and years to come, you will see that Sikkim is a very well-connected state in the country. IT and IT-enabled services, hydropower, a lot of potential is still there, and aviation, animation, visual effects, gaming and comics. That is what AVGC, Naxar, this area is also very much upcoming, and we are proposing to create a center of excellence. Large-scale projects, Gangtok ropeway, already it is mentioned here, 500 crore investment, and it is being taken up under PPP mode. Hydropower projects, I mentioned, food park, meat processing, food processing units, setting up a food park at Gazing, and we are inviting private investment in this very critical area. Industrial parks, I've already mentioned. Film and sports city, I mean, there is this proposal already has been sent, and M. Donner is helping us out in this area. It takes time in switching, okay. So other potential projects, I will not read out every project. These are populated here. We will have better interaction in the afternoon, G2B interactions. So these are the primary focused areas, priority-wise, and we are working in these directions, in these domains. I will not again read out all these awards and accolades. We have won more than 30 national and international awards in tourism sector. Only the first fully organic certified state. And Gazing district in India was categorized as the best cleanest district in the country in rural category. So you can go through them. We have handouts also prepared. So we'll be sharing with all that. And Sikkimese ecotourism. Sikkim, one thing I would like to mention here, Northeast has 25% of the total forest cover of the country. So you see, the area-wise, it is hardly 7% of the country, and now it has 25%. So this particular aspect, particularly in the areas of certified emission reductions, or we call carbon credits, carbon financing, which is the very prospective area. The Green Fund already has been created under COP15, Paris Agreement. So this is the area where a lot of opportunities are there. And in Sikkim, we have already very much advanced in this area. So I would request the captains of industries to look into these aspects also. So with these words, once again, I thank you all for patiently listening. My time is up, of course, because there was a video clip there. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Sikkim is indeed the jewel in India's crown, so to speak. It's a beautiful state. If you have not been there, please visit Sikkim. And now we would like to invite the representative from the land of festivals. Nagaland has many tribes, many festivals. It has many opportunities. May I invite the Principal Secretary and Development Commissioner from Nagaland, Mr. R. Ramakrishnan. Over to you, sir.
Nagaland is a young, dynamic, and a culturally vibrant state which puts us in the spotlight, be it tourism, fashion, and music. But that's not all. Nagaland is an emerging destination for market opportunities that are untapped. last decade, the state has evolved beyond just a tourist and a cultural hotspot into a hub of creativity, innovation, and enterprise. As reflected in the GSDP, there has been a steady annual increase of 10.46% between 2011 to 2020. The Agri and Allied is one of the major contributors to the GSDP and is the largest employer of the workforce in the state. Nagaland's crop cultivation and production has paved the way for a growing export market. The state has also adopted a balanced mix of technology and indigenous technical knowledge. Powered under SDG 17, the state aspires to reduce fiscal deficit to 3% of the GSDP and increase state-level income generation to attain self-sufficiency. We are fortunate to have a young population who are constantly adapting to the changing technology and innovation. 1,232.94 crore was spent on education and continues to be a priority sector for the state. The potential to explore Nagaland's rich natural resources like tea, pineapple, honey, and bamboo is high. Nagaland aims to move from subsistence to surplus economy. Our goal is to increase the state's export potential with the right market linkages. Nagaland aims to be a model startup leader by establishing 500 startups. At present, IDAN is collaborating with various national and international organizations that will propel us towards economic growth. IDAN is an investment promotion agency to explore and promote all possible investment opportunities for the state. Our goal is to support innovative ways to attract investment and build our local content, as well as match the aspirational quotient of the people through strategic partnerships. Come, share our journey towards sustainable growth.
Good afternoon to everyone. Respected Secretary ADC, JS Donor, members from FICCI and Invest India, distinguished invitees, esteemed colleagues from northeastern states, ladies and gentlemen. Very good afternoon to everyone. At the outset, I thank FICCI and the organizers, Donor Ministry, for giving us an opportunity to talk about our state in the investment opportunities. Of course, most of the sectors in Northeast are quite similar, but every state is unique and the opportunities are quite different. We have prepared a presentation. I'll just rush through. This one. This one. Right. Yes. Yeah, our economy similar to our state. Our contribution is from the three sectors. Primary sector is 55%, secondary sector 28%, and tertiary sector it is 16%. Yeah, we have the existing policies. Nagaland startup policy, tourism policy, bamboo policy, IT policy is quite old. We are planning to revise the Nagaland water policy. These are the policies under consideration. We have trade and investment policies, and logistic policy, land bank policy, land lease guidelines, and food processing, and yeah, these are the policies. Sectors. This is not coming there.
So it will come, sir. You'll have to click it twice.
Oh, twice, no? Okay.
So they put some animation because of which.
Okay, animation, huh? Okay. You can just this thing. Yeah, food processing. I think I just rush through, no? Better. I will go through the slides now. Yeah, I was mentioning about the sectors. Most of the sectors in Northeast are quite similar. Agree, of course, we have a main source of livelihood. We have a lot of horticultural producers like pineapple and kolar and Naga king chili. And floriculture, we have producers like roses, coronation, anthurium, and lilium. We have a lot of potential in medicinal plants. We have citronella, lemongrass, geranium, aloe vera, and great potential for export. In sericulture also, we have variety of eri, muga, mulberry, and tagar. Bamboo also, we have identified 45 species, and in the state, we have more than 70 species of bamboo. Beekeeping, a very important area in Northeast, Nagaland. We have a potential for good export. People are, the investors, potential investors are welcome to invest in the area of beekeeping also. It has got a medicinal value. And minerals, we have a lot of mineral resources like coal, limestones, and cobalt and chromium. Tourism, of course, you are all aware of the Hornbill Festival. We celebrate from 1st December to 10th December. It's about 10 days. Actually, we want to have of course, Nagaland is known for land of festivals. We have more than 17 tribes, and we have festivals throughout the year actually. Every month we have tribal festivals. We want to have a sustained tourist festivals throughout the year. So we look forward investment in the tourism infrastructure and like other potentials linked to tourism. Of course, handlooms, of course, the entire Northeast, we are famous for handicrafts, cane-based or bamboo-based handicrafts. Of course, we need international marketing and we need linkages in these areas. Power, of course, all the Northeastern states, we have potential. In Nagaland also, we have at least 200 megawatt hydro identified potential and many unexploited potential available in the state. Healthcare also, of course, we have lots of CSR initiatives in healthcare and education. Of course, Nikhil Pant was mentioning about that. We have the potential in healthcare and education, higher education. We have skilled manpower. Our young youths are very, highly talented, and they have proficiency in English language. Of course, it is common to all the Northeastern states. Nagaland also, we have the potential. We look forward the investment in IT sector, cyber security, as well as call centers. And we are planning to have an IT park very soon. We are discussing with the government, and very soon a policy or the IT kind of investment will be started in the state of Nagaland. Of course, logistics, we have a potential. We have, of course, we have an airport. We have a rail network in Dimapur. The rail network is coming up to Kohima, up to Supsa. The works are undergoing. We have good connectivity. Nagaland is a gateway for East Asian countries. So we want to have a kind of logistic policy. The policy is coming up, and we request the investors. These are the areas we request the investors as well as the potential entrepreneurs to come forward to help our state in the areas of tourism, technical education, IT, then agro and horticulture areas. So I thank the donor ministry for giving us an opportunity to present our cases and opportunities in our state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would call upon Mizoram to come for the presentation. May I invite Mrs. Florence Jotlong Pui, Director Commerce Industries Department.
Northeast India, a land of untapped opportunities. With borders that stretch across 5 nations, which reflects the region's diversity, culture, and untapped potential. Our incredible natural beauty and diversity is the reason why we are often addressed as paradise unexplored. produced some of the most talented athletes, artists, and cultural icons in India. A prominent personality in sports, world boxing champion, Olympic medalist.
It's okay.
Among all the other states in the northeast, Mizoram stood out as one of the most heavily forested areas in the country. Mizoram is popularly known for its peace and harmony. We are also known for our discipline. We are highly people-oriented with the Young Mizo Association, which works towards promoting the welfare and development of the people, especially the youth. Our virtue of selflessness, called Tlongweina, made us special and stand out among all the other states. We have Ngalo Do, a shop without keeper, where shops are left unattended and buyers leave money safely in a box. This practice reflects the trust that our community has in each other and their unwavering commitment to honesty and integrity. Above these, Mizoram also tops the list as the happiest state of India. These core values, combined with the moderate climate, truly set us apart to have a deep sense of community and shared values. We look forward to the opportunities that the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project will bring to us in becoming the Indie Corridor to Southeast Asian countries. The development of railway route and the various national highway projects in Mizoram are the key factors that will enable the ecosystem for businesses. We are simply lying in the sea of immense potential and opportunity. Limitless possibilities of human endeavor. Mizoram, the talent capital.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected MEC Secretary, Sir, Joint Secretary Donor, colleagues and captains of the industry, it is a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you today. Mizoram is one of the most peaceful states. We have a temperate, mild climate, ideal for tourism, and we share a long boundary with both Myanmar and Bangladesh. In order to accelerate investment, we have set up a two-tiered committee for investments, the Empowered Committee chaired by the Chief Minister and the Working Committee chaired by the Planning Secretary. We have also initiated a Mizoram Startup Mission to handhold investors and provide assistance. You can see the composition of both the Empowered Committee and the Working Committee on the slide. Next. Here we are showcasing one of our success stories. Godrej Agrovet Limited has established oil palm processing mill in Bugwani, which is in Kolasip district. It has been shown to be a great success. It has invested in oil palm plantation and extraction of oil. Next, another investment success stories is regarding Mizoram Ispat Private Limited. This firm has invested in waste management and recycling of scrap metal. Production is going well, and it has been shown to be a success with great sales figures. Our state priority sectors are tourism, skilling, sports, food processing, solar power generation, education, IT sector including e-commerce, and transport including inland and railway transportation. The identified Focus sector for investment in tourism are bamboo theme park, cultural village, skywalk with associated infrastructures, development of adventure theme park with family entertainment centers, development of river rafting infrastructure, development of aerosports infrastructure, caravan tourism, heli-tourism, eco-retreats, wayside amenities like hotels, restaurants, hanging restaurant, passenger ropeway in Aizawl. In skill development, we have focus sectors in establishment of skill development and entrepreneurs incubation center, implementation of skill development programs in state-owned industrial training institutes through PPP mode. We have a very vibrant handloom industry. The textiles of Mizoram constitute one of the most significant arts and crafts of the region. The textile industry of Mizoram offers a variety of handloom items for export to the neighboring states and other countries. Apart from the traditional puan, which I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing a puan. This is our traditional dress. We have also diversified to household items like tablecloths, curtains, cushion covers, etc. We have talented weavers who are highly skilled in designs, and the uniqueness of our designs and skill can be known through the fact that we have 5 geographical indication tags in handloom designs. In horticultural products, we have geographical indication tags in miso chili. The miso chili is small in size and blood red in color. Miso chili is very pungent and has average score of 50,000 to 1 lakh Scoville heat unit. The miso ginger, which is produced in Mizoram, has distinctive taste and characteristics like aroma and pungency. It has a high gingerol content with comparatively less crude fiber. In horticulture, we have potential for investments in post-harvest management, drying processing of chilies, in floriculture, in post-harvest management of ginger, turmeric, grape wine production, and cold chain management. The untapped bamboo resources of Mizoram has huge potential for development of bamboo-based industries, which has great potential for investment, including for biofuel. We have 7 industrial parks with available land in the outskirts of Aizawl at Luangmual, Lengte, Sairang, and Lunglei. We have 1 domestic airport near Aizawl and 24 helipads across the state. As you must have seen on the video, the Kaladan multimodal transport project is to provide easy accessibility with Myanmar through waterway, which is expected to usher in a whole host of opportunities, both in trade and commerce. The Honorable Chief Minister of Mizoram has evinced great interest in attraction of investments and has assured constant support for all entities willing to work with the government of Mizoram. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Florence, for the incisive presentation. We now have from the state of Meghalaya, Mr. Alan Walang. He is going to talk about the opportunities that the state of Meghalaya presents to us. He will first have a presentation, which will be followed by a short video.
A very good afternoon to everyone here, to the officials and dignitaries on the dais, the co-chairman of FICCI, the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Donor, the Secretary of Northeastern Council. I'm here to represent the state of Meghalaya. Since we are short on time, I will just skim through the slides as quickly as possible. Here we have the investment and trade opportunities in our state. The focus sectors are tourism, information technology, and agriculture. The Shillong International Center for Performing Arts and Culture. It was inaugurated last year. It comprises of multiple theaters and auditoria with an open auditorium where international artists have performed there. Now coming to the information and technology sector, this is the Shillong Technology Park. It was also inaugurated last year, and it will provide golden opportunities for IT professionals from across the state. This is the Tura Medical College. The construction is underway, and it's going well as of now. Now the government is opening up to private investors. There are two models of investment. First, we have the government-owned land, where the government owns the land. And the second model is the government-leased land, where the government leases from the community. We also have the development of the tourism policy. It was set up as a guiding framework for the state. Now we come on to the investable projects. Here it's for the B2G meeting in the afternoon. The first investable project, the new Shillong Township, where resorts, hospitality complexes are to be set up, and also the shifting of the new administrative city and all government entities. As I mentioned earlier, the Performing Arts Center, along with other central government institutions, are already present there, such as IAM, NIFT, etc. Now we move on to Cherrapunji. As we all know, Sora, or Cherrapunji, it is a land of waterfalls with more than 12,000 tourists visiting monthly. Here, the proposed project of a 7-star hotel is in the works. Now on to Omyam Lake, the first location. With a scenic view of the lake where thousands of tourists visit daily, there are already existing infrastructure with a focus for major upgrades. The second location is a proposal of a luxury hotel for high-end tourists. It may be noted that it will fall under government-owned property. Now the Polo Orchid project. At the heart of the city, with major marketplaces and tourism spots within a sizable radius of each other, the proposed project is of a commercial complex and budget hotels for backpackers. The Mau Padang project, a rather unique untapped potential just within a stone's throw away from the only airport in the state. The hospitality project is proposed, spanning within 100 acres of prime land. Now we come to the Kanapara project. This is just located in the interstate border of Meghalaya and Assam. It is the perfect location for the setup of a hotel complex, catering to tourists visiting both Assam and Meghalaya. The Shillong Peak project. The main tourist destination, the Shillong Peak, overlooking the city of Shillong, where a proposed hospitality complex for tourists is in the works. Another notable project is the Shillong Ropeway project, where our team has had consultations in Switzerland with consulting agencies. Now the Nokrek National Park. The Nokrek Biosphere Reserve, added to the list of UNESCO's Biosphere Reserve, it attracts a lot of tourists. The proposal for lodging and accommodation is ongoing at the moment. The Meghalaya Theme Park. With the state being diverse and with a rich ecosystem, the Honorable Chief Minister has proposed the setup of a theme park in Meghalaya, taking inspiration from similar setups across the globe. Now the ease of doing business. Here are the milestones achieved by the state. We were ranked 30th in 2015, but we've moved up in 2022, where the assessment is still ongoing. Now here is a snapshot of the Invest Meghalaya website for interested investors. They can Google Invest Meghalaya, the first link that appears, that is investmeghalaya.gov.in. That will be the official website. Now you can reach us with the following government officials. Here we have Dr. Vijay Kumar, the Commissioner and Secretary for Planning, Investment, Promotion and Development Department. Now we have Shri Praveen Bakshi, the Commissioner and Secretary for Commerce and Industries Department, and Dr. Jerome Beda, the Commissioner and Secretary for Planning, Investment, Promotion and Development Department. Thank you. Now can we have the small video presentation on the tourism promotion in the state?
Thank you. I think after that beautiful video, I don't really need to say anything about Meghalaya. You know what the state is. Now, the state with the largest population in the northeast, and the state which also acts as the gateway to the other northeastern states when you go from Hyderabad or other parts of India, is the state of Assam. And we are privileged to have with us Mr. Manavendra Pratap Singh. He is the MD of the Assam Industrial Development Corporation. He is going to make a presentation to us. Over to you, Mr. Singh.
पूर्वोत्तर के लिए एक्ट ईस्ट का संकल्प लिया है। ईश्वर ने इस क्षेत्र को इतने प्राकृतिक संसाधन दिए हैं, इतना सामर्थ्य दिया है, यहाँ विकास की, टूरिज्म की इतनी संभावनाएं हैं। आज वाकई असम A1 प्रदेश बन रहा है।
Welcome to Assam, India's gateway to the Northeast and ASEAN, the land of opportunities where investment meets growth. Explore the myriad investment opportunities that Assam offers for businesses and entrepreneurs looking to thrive. Assam's strategic geographic location and robust connectivity network make it an ideal staging point for global investment. With an extensive network of state and national highways, rail connectivity, and 15 national waterways, Assam offers seamless access to markets in the ASEAN region and beyond. Assam has been prioritizing infrastructure development to create a business-friendly environment. The state has witnessed substantial progress in building modern highways, expanding railway networks, and upgrading airports. The construction of new bridges across the mighty Brahmaputra River is opening new possibilities. Several dedicated industrial and technology parks have been established to provide a strong foundation for industries to thrive. Assam's greatest strength is its skilled and adaptable workforce. The state boasts of a large pool of educated and talented individuals. Assam is home to numerous reputed educational institutions, universities, management colleges and vocational training centers that ensure a continuous supply of skilled professionals in various fields. Assam is a treasure trove of natural resources. It's the largest tea-producing region in the world. The rich aroma and exquisite taste of Assam tea have captivated tea enthusiasts across the globe. The state also holds a monopoly in producing gold and muga silk. Assam is also a major player in the oil and gas industry. The state has abundant oil reserves, making it an attractive destination for exploration and production companies. Assam's abundance of agricultural products like rice, spices, citrus fruits, vegetables and bamboo present lucrative opportunities for diverse industries. Assam's abundant natural resources including limestone, clay and silica provide a solid foundation for the cement industry. With state-of-the-art cement factories and modern production techniques, Assam ensures high-quality cement production. Assam is at the forefront of emerging industries. The state's new policies and incentives in the electric vehicle sector have garnered significant attention. With a focus on renewable energy and unconventional sectors like ethanol production, Assam presents exciting opportunities. The state's commitment to healthcare is transforming lives and positioning the state as a leading destination for quality medical services. With state-of-the-art hospitals, cutting-edge technology, and highly skilled healthcare professionals, Assam offers world-class healthcare facilities. The state's medical colleges and universities produce a steady stream of talented doctors, nurses, and medical technicians. The state government is committed to creating an investor-friendly ecosystem. Assam also offers a rich cultural heritage and abundant natural beauty. The state is known for its wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and sprawling tea estates and golf resorts. Tourists flock to Assam to experience river cruises and adventure sports. The warmth, hospitality, and entrepreneurial spirit of the Assamese population create an ecosystem that nurtures innovation, collaboration, and success.
Assam is connected to all major cities of India by Indian Railways, and all major districts, towns of the state are interlinked by the rail network, and 4 border trade centers to promote trade and investment in the state. With such an ecosystem and having situated in the close proximity to ASEAN nation, the state is a preferred destination for investment.
Come and invest in Assam and be a part of its incredible transformation journey. Welcome to Assam, the land of endless possibilities.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Respected Secretary K. Moses Silai sir, Joint Secretary Harpreet Singh sir, dignitaries on the dais, business leaders, and dear friends. So we have seen in video the immense opportunities which are available in Assam. Assam I define as a land of unlimited potential and untapped resources, with market-ready ecosystem, and we are the expressway to ASEAN. We have very excellent and enabling policy support system and industrial ecosystem. Next. So as we know, Assam is the biggest state of the Northeast, and we are touching 5 lakh crores GDP. And it will be around 5.5 crores in financial year 2024, with 19.5% year annual growth, which is the highest among all the states of India. Next. We have ready to use ecosystem and available market, with the being in the center point of ASEAN, with 1.88 billion consumers available in the region. Tea is the biggest crop in the Assam, with 50% of Indian tea produce is coming from Assam. Oil and gas, we are having 1.3 billion metric ton of proven oil resources and 156 billion cubic meter of natural gas reserves, with lots of opportunities available in upstream and downstream sector of petroleum. Bamboo, we are one of the highest, having highest concentration of bamboo in Northeast. Large sets of skilled human resource and a plethora of policy ecosystem which enable the industries in Assam. We are at the center point of ASEAN. We are closest to many countries rather than many states of India. So this is the potential which we can leverage for industrial growth in Assam. Next. We are having one of the best airport connectivity in India. We have one of the biggest roads and railways network in Northeast. We are having one of the largest inland waterways network, and Northeast first multimodal logistic park is situated in Assam's Jogi Bhupa Bongaigaon district. So there are many more industrial logistics parks which are upcoming in the region will be in Assam only. Next. So this we have heard from many of our previous speakers that we are connected to ASEAN in many manner. We are through Bangladesh, we are connected through Myanmar, we are having rail and road connectivity from Sitwe port. So this is the future of economic growth in northeastern region, and we can cater to the needs of most of the ASEAN countries, including Bangladesh, Myanmar and Bhutan. Next. We are having huge number of skilled human capital. Every year we are producing around 6,000 plus engineering graduates, 5,000 plus ITI diploma holders, 2,000 plus medical professionals. New skill university is being set up in Assam's Mangaldoy district, Darang district, Mangaldoy city. So that will be having many new courses which will cater to the needs of emerging industries in Assam. Presently, this university is functioning from IIT Guwahati. Next. We have plethora of policy to support the industrial environment in state. So there is an industrial and investment policy of Assam, which is amended in 2023, which offers customized support to the industries who are coming and investing in Assam to the tune of 100 crores and 200 employments. So for having some investment in logistics sector, we are having logistics and warehousing policy, biotech policy, tourism policy, renewable energy policy, handicraft policy. We are having a ethanol production promotion policy. Then there is a electric vehicle policy. Agarwood promotion policy is recently being launched. Bamboo and cane policy, startup policy, IT and electric policy 2017. Ease of doing business, we have single window clearance system, so business leaders can use this opportunity to get clearances through a single window system. Next. So we are having industrial infrastructure throughout the state, in Upper Assam and Lower Assam and Barak Valley equivalently, and these industrial infrastructures are promoting various kind of thematic parks also, different kind of requirements of industry in various parts of the Assam. So we are having software technology park, biotech park, tech city, then bamboo technology park, we are having food parks, then there is a plastic park and other thematic park which are being set up in various parts of Assam to promote the industrial growth. Next. So these are a few parks which are thematic and sector specific, which are already established in Assam. Next. These are the key players who are available in Assam, and they are having experience of doing business and running industry in Assam for long. Next. These are the few focus sectors where we are planning to give impetus in coming days. Agriculture, we are having 8 GI tagged product and a plethora of fruit and vegetable which are ready to be exported. Spices, we are having ginger, garlic, pepper, turmeric, coriander, which is very popular, and ginger has high recovery of oleoresin oil, which is very popular throughout the country. We are the biggest tea producer. We are having thematic infrastructure which support food business in Northeast, and we can use bamboo also from available varieties in the state. Next. Pharmaceutical is another focus area. We have heard from our speakers that Sikkim and then Assam is doing very well in field of pharma. So we are exporting pharma producers to all of the ASEAN and VBN countries. So this is one of the area where transportation cost can be decreased if pharma companies are coming and establishing their industries in Assam. We are having huge medicinal plant available, and many hubs are available in Assam. Because of that, we can use this sector to promote our pharma growth in the region. Next. textile, handloom and handicraft like other states also. We are having four kind of silk available in Assam. Munga silk, we are having monopoly over Munga silk. Handlooms are available across the state. Silk production, golden Munga silk is GI tagged and which is having production of around 180 metric ton in last 10 years. Cane, bamboo and other local handicraft material is being produced all across the state, and Sualkisi is the main place where silk producers are being made and sold as a hotspot for the silk production in the state. Next. Tourism is another sector. We can see that Assam is having multi-ethnic culture environment. We are having 1,000 number of tea gardens where tea garden tourism can be promoted. Natural and ecotourism, biodiversity hotspots are there with dense green forest. We are having 7 national parks and 11 wildlife and bird sanctuaries across the state, which is very attractive to nature lovers. Religious tourism, Kamakhya is the magnet for religious tourism. And then we are having adventure sports infrastructure. We are having 10 beautiful golf courses across the state, and there is a river cruise which ply throughout the length of the Brahmaputra river, and it's a premium luxury cruise which gives opportunity for people to have experienced the Assam. Next. 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 So this is another upcoming focus sector for Assam, where we are promoting shipbuilding and repair in Assam because we are having one of the biggest network of waterways in Northeast, and 15 national waterways are in Assam. We have already taken up dredging of National Waterway 2 and 6. One ship repair facility is already coming up in Pandu Port, Guwahati, and freight we are actually catering to the 4% of the freight movement, but in future we are targeting more freight movement because it reduces the transportation cost and enable transportation at very high speed to many parts of the country, even outside India also we can cater to the many ports of Bangladesh and Myanmar. Recently, one commercial ship which carried food grains from Banaras, which traveled across the eastern and northeastern India, and it reaches to Guwahati carrying huge shipload of grains. So this Bangladesh protocol route is already tested, and it is established that we can use this waterways to export the whatever produces manufactured in Assam. So this is very new sector which is very attractive to the people who are having experience in doing this business in this sector. Next. Thank you for giving me opportunity for presenting this.
Thank you, sir. Now, from the most populous state, we move on to the largest state in the region, the state which has the largest geographical area, and a very beautiful state again, the state of Arunachal Pradesh. We have the Secretary Industries, Mr. Hage Tare, with us. He is going to make a short presentation.
Arunachal Pradesh, the largest state in northeast India, is now rising as the next investment destination. With abundant natural resources, Arunachal has the advantage of a vibrant leadership, young and resourceful human capital, and a huge infrastructure boost in recent years. Arunachal has the largest potential of growth in sectors of oil, gas, minerals, hydropower, food processing and tourism, which are waiting to be explored. Arunachal is the next hydrocarbon destination with about 18% of India's hydrocarbon reserves in the surrounding belt, mostly unexplored. It has about 90 million tons of coal reserve with tertiary coal and coal bed methane. The Kumchai field alone has about 2,800 million cubic meter of gas. A new pipeline of 61 kilometers is under process to transport the gas and oil. The state also has limestones, graphite, dolomite and quartzite. Recently, the process of granting PEL and PML has also been smoothened for investors. With 58,160 megawatt hydropower potential, which is nearly 40% of India's total potential, Arunachal Pradesh is rising to be India's hydropower hub. 43,000 megawatts of projects are being developed by hydropower companies. One of them is Lower Subansiri Hydroelectric Project of 2,000 megawatt, which will be India's largest when completed in 2023. There are ample opportunities for investment in this sector. 27 hydropower projects for cumulative capacity of 1,470 megawatts are readily available for investment and many more to follow suit. Arunachal is the agri-horti powerhouse of Northeast India with high-quality producers, over 100,000 tons of market surplus and scope of expansion in 86% of cultivable area. The state has immense potential in food processing and allied industries. Kiwi, orange, palm oil, pineapple, turmeric and ginger are the immediately investable producers, whereas apiculture, bamboo subsector, organic farming and contract farming also have immense potential in Arunachal. Arunachal is dubbed as India's wildest and least explored tourism destination and is already on the global tourism map. The state offers exotic wildlife, adventure, and cultural tourism experiences and has large potential of scaling up. Investments in hospitality infrastructure and upcoming sectors such as tribal festivals, film and wellness tourism have immense potential of scaling up and success in Arunachal. The government of Arunachal is committed to serve investors well in the state. The state has established an inviting industrial and investment policy, ease of doing business, and a dedicated Arunachal Pradesh Innovation and Investment Park, or APIIP, under the Department of Planning and Investment to extend all support to investors. Arunachal is rising and we welcome you to be a part of it. Arunachal Pradesh, your next investment destination.
Thank you for the patient hearing. Respected Secretary NEC Sri Moses Chalaji, respected Joint Secretary Sri Harpreet Singh Ji, donor, and of course all the senior officers and dais from various northeastern states who are representing here, and Piki and Mr. Biswajit Chakrabarty, who is giving this opportunity to me, presentation, of course, all the distinguished from corporate organization who are present in this August gathering today. Now time is running up, ticking, and I was asked to give and and within 5 minutes, but 2 minutes is gone. So let me quickly wrap up. I'll not go through exactly what the slides, various slides which have long slides. I'll only just see why Arunachal to be invested and why it is we need to welcome the investor. This I'd like to focus. So begin with about Arunachal Pradesh, although it is located in northeastern state, but within northeastern, we are another northeastern. So it is the best part of it and the easternmost of our Arunachal Pradesh in India. To begin with, I'll just, with one quotation from C.S. Lewis, his English author, who has written about the Chronicle of Narnia, I think made a movie also. He says, I quote, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending," unquote. So Arunachal Pradesh, all the way latecomer, but we are transforming now slowly and gradually. We are coming up. So begin with, let's go to the slides. This is about, just a quick wrap up. And geography, we have the largest among the northeastern state land mass. We do have, and bordering, of course, 3 international border with Bhutan's, of course, in Tibet and this Myanmar. Then also we have demographic population, of course, 2011 census, almost 15 lakhs it comes right now. And economy, we do have a per capita income more than the national income, which you have highlighted in this, in the middle of the things, 2 lakhs and above. Then of course, so comes to the latest power, which just now we have seen this hydropower is the largest. We have 58,000 megawatt potentials. Right now, the Subansar hydroelectric power is now going to be commissioned soon. It is under construction, which is 2,000 megawatt. And coming, we have the 600 megawatt. And like small, the 100 and the small, we do already have. So this is one of the largest potential where the investor can think of that in the northeastern state, especially Arunachal Pradesh. So coming to the, let us say, we are by default, we are organic in the, which in agriculture and horticulture. We do use only the humus, we don't use this kind of fertilizer chemicals. So about the scope, oil reserves, we do have oils right now. Joint company is already tapping up in this, in the one of the Karsang. And hydrocarbon is one of the most potential area where we can think of where this investor can invest in Arunachal Pradesh. So this coming to the, let us say, population, of course, we do have, although it is a density is a low, but we do have a potential of 15 to 13 years fluent, suppose both in English, Hindi. Arunachal Pradesh, if you come there, and they speak more Hindi than English. So it is some of our beautiful tribes, 26 tribes and hundreds of tribes we do have. And varieties, and we organize a festival almost each and every month of the year. So quickly this coming to the, why attractive? Industrial policy with 2020 we have launched. Now we are going to amend this industrial policy, make it more comprehensive so that power subsidies, capital subsidies can be increased for the larger, those especially large scale industry who are going to invest. Of course, we do have this single window clearance, especially for the online. First, we have the EODB, we have launched and connected a national portal and EOBD so that anyone can access for any kind of investment anywhere from the world. You can sit and throw it online. So coming to the, just quickly wrap on the road, we do have one of the largest road connection which Trans-Himalaya Arunachal Pradesh, where 50,000 kilometer road is already built, and now 1,800 is already underway. So of course, so far is the infrastructure of the air connectivity is concerned. Donipolo Airport very recently in this last November of 19, Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated. Directly there is a flight from Calcutta and directly connected Itanagar. So New Delhi is soon going to be connected. Also in this we have the 8 advanced landing ground in Arunachal Pradesh. We do have which they can cross-section, can transact each other. That is under, earlier they used to, if Defense, Minister of Defense use, and now civilians also being likely to open. Now of course so far is other water connections and in land portals, and it is trying and how we have various river basins, 8 river basins we do have. Apart from hydropower, we are trying how this can be tapped into link into Bangladesh. This exploration is already underway. So coming to this regulatory and compliances, which just now I have already told, we have dedicatedly invest division has been opened where this can be accessed to all over the world. That especially for it is for investor, and dedicatedly we have already investment. The division is established by government. So coming to the tourism is one area where Pokas and Tawang-like districts is one of the most sought after the tourism all over the world. And we do have a beautiful place like Mechuka, where the paragliding and adventure tourism and Zero Music festivals and Dambuk Orange festivals and varieties of such festivals we do have as part of tourism calendar. So we do have textiles and varieties of special Ahimsa textile is one of the sought after, where very recently I was in Washington DC, and one of the ambassador herself is she told me that they like to have this Ahimsa, like to see how, and some of the company like OBT, they've even told us to send a yarn. So yes, and it is being covered. This latest agriculture, horticulture, food processing is concerned. Kiwi is the largest in India, Arunachal Pradesh produce, where we do make a wine. kiwi wine, and not only from kiwi, but we also make wine from other fruits, including ginger. So this is one of the sought after, which Nara Aba is very popular, and this kiwi wine we tap, and it is market potential exists. And orange is concerned, it is one of the consignment has only gone to Lulu Group in Dubai, and it is under, I think, available now. So more potential like fine apples, cardamoms, then of course, all these are under part of our Arunachal potential, where especially those who are interested in agriculture, horticulture can come. Then come to the tourism sector, I will cover. Just time is all up. Oh, sorry. So these are circuits you can see from Tawang to this Longding and the Tirap district, tourism can be covered. Okay. So these are the, you can see some of the tourism where people like it, and one of the sought after tourists. Oh. So these are only just to have a glance through. Sorry, this is. So these are some of the handicraft items. We do have the one of the largest bamboo potential in Arunachal Pradesh. We can have right from ethanol onwards. You can think of raw material, how this can be tapped, and including fiber and cloth you can make out of bamboo. One of the largest in the which among India we do have. Then come to the, of course, oil gas, hydro I have covered. IT sector is one area where government is focusing, and a special dedicated policy, especially it is a pit case with Hyderabad. Today we are making this roadshow, and where all the IT hubs and all are sitting here. Now I think this is one of area where this kind of, due to connectivity, is the main problem in our northeastern region. 6 months incessant rain and high mountain and terrain and rocky, and some of them. So one of this is the potential area like drone we have launched very recently, and to supply the medicines. And especially we can think of also in the ropeways where Switzerland is connected like Mount Titlis. And this Arunachal Pradesh can also think in that manner. So these are some of the which area where you can focus. I would request each of the investor, and we'll have a more focus on the special G2B, I think session afternoon I was told. It is there, we'll have more interaction with that. So with this little bit, which very quick presentation, I would like to request each one of to have, in case required, you can have, I can make access to this video and as well as this presentation to each one of you. With this PO, thank you so much for patient hearing, and lunch is waiting, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very detailed presentation. With that, we come to the end of this session. The next session is B2G, but before we let you go, we would like to take advantage of the presence of 3 very important institutions from the Northeast. One of the institutions is the Northeast Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation. They are a central agency which work with all the state governments in the area of handloom and handicraft. The MD of the Northeast Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation is here with us. So may I request Brigadier Singh to come and introduce himself briefly.
Very good afternoon to everybody present here. Respected Secretary NAC, Mrs. Moses Chalai, Joint Secretary, Government of India, Mr. Harpreet Singh, the Additional Chief Secretary, Sikkim, and the other dignitaries on the dais, officials from the various state governments, Ministry of Donor, other central organizations, and most importantly, the industry partners who are here and who've shown great determination and resolve to sit through this very insightful session that we've had since morning to try and understand and grasp that what Northeast has to offer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I promise to keep it short. I don't have a structured presentation. I'll just share with you a couple of things which I feel as the Northeastern Handicraft and Handloom Development Corporation, that what are the areas where potential investors can look at where are the gaps that we have. While states have covered, most of it, but I'll like to just be a little more specific, and we'll be happy to take this on further from here. Should we need more clarity or more information, data, etc. So it is a little unstructured. Kindly bear with me. As it would have already been spoken by the previous during the state presentation, Northeast, when it comes to silk, I think it's very unique because that's the only region in the country which produces all 4 varieties of silk that you know of. So, and they have a huge, heritage, valued culture. It is all very, it's all mixed, and it's been there for ages. So very traditional knowledge which is existing. However, despite having all that, it does not really feature too much when it comes to the national figures, whether it is the production, whether it is export, etc. It has the potential, and therefore we need to look at commercialization of these activities, which otherwise largely remain, very community-based, and they are unstructured and unorganized also. So commercialization of silk, whether it is the raw silk, there is anything post-cocoon, needs very important and urgent intervention. So I would urge anybody here from the audience who is into the silk industry, we can certainly look at increasing the production as also the flow and the supply chain of the silk, not only in the domestic market but also internationally. So therefore, sericulture, that is the mulberry and tussar, and also the eri culture, which is also called the ahimsa silk, also referred as the peace silk. So in the connoisseurs of silk and people who actually are very conscious of fashion, they actually lend themselves, and Mr. Tagi just mentioned about his visit to the United States, where somebody picked this up and said that they wanted to know more about the peace silk, because there is an issue where the other types of silk where you actually have to kill the silkworm or the pupa. So eri culture actually can be an answer to a lot of issues today related to climate change, global warming, etc., etc. And we have a sustainable alternative to other material in terms of fabric. Capacity building at the cluster levels in any form which is related to craft or the craft industry, I think that is another area which must be looked at very intently. Design centers, we have a lot of art, we have a lot of craft, we have a lot of diversity. However, it somehow fails to actually appeal to the international market. So apparently we remain very very close to the culture. They are very traditional in nature. So to make them more contemporary, I think design centers which are very profound otherwise in bigger markets is something that certainly finds its way in Northeast. Extraction of other natural fibers like the bamboo. Bamboo is, we all know that Northeast has the maximum amount of bamboo in the country. Technology in terms of extracting the fiber from bamboo is not there. So therefore, this is an industry which has tremendous potential, and all states will be happy to partner with you in that. Warehousing, logistics, and integrated, export hubs for handloom and handicraft both. I think is another need and area which should interest you. Craft tourism or immersive tourism as we call it, I think that has a lot of potential in Northeast. And lastly, research. So anybody which is interested in research, we'll be happy to collaborate and take this partnership forward. Thank you very much. We are based out of Guwahati. So anybody who's interested can please get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to connect you to all other 8 states in Northeast as far as handloom and handicraft is concerned. Thank you very much. Grateful. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Brigadier Singh. We also have with us Commodore Rajiv Ashok. He is MD of Neramac Northeast Agricultural Marketing Corporation. If you can briefly introduce yourself in about 2 minutes.
Secretary NEC, dignitaries on and off the stage, dear investors, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. As he mentioned, I'm Commodore Rajiv Ashok, and today happens to be my work anniversary. I retired exactly 1 year ago and took over MD of Neramac. So it's good to be here speaking to you today. Neramac is basically a Government of India public sector enterprise. We are under the Ministry of Donor, and we have been incorporated in 1982, so it's an old company. I thought I'll just walk you through in the next minute or so on what exactly we do so that we can work on convergences during the B2G subsequently. We have our head office at Guwahati, and we have a mandate in all the 8 states, and we have zonal offices in some of these states. Our primary mandate is in the agri-horti sector, and very recently we've also got a mandate in fishery and dairy. So we can start working in those sectors as well, though we have not started work as yet. Our mainstay, I think, is we have been given FPOs under the 10,000 FPO scheme of the Ministry of Agriculture, and we have 250 such FPOs. So out of which 55 have been mobilized because they were given a year earlier. The balance, around 200, were given in December last year. So we expect that by August, all the 250 will be functional. So the issue of aggregation of agri products has kind of been addressed, though transportation still remains a niggle. And subsequently, we're going to start working on cold storage and on food processing to ensure the longevity of products. We also work in GI, and we have got 13 products which we have facilitated for GI certification. We are in the process of user authorizing them so that investors like you can utilize that potential and sell the GI products at a better margin. There are 7 more produce that are under certification, and we are hopeful that by the end of the year, we'll reach the figure of 20 GI certified products. This is apart from what the states have processed on their own. This has purely been facilitated by Neramac. We also have food processing centers which are currently under revival. We have a pineapple processing center in Agartala, which should be functional for the winter crop. We have got a cashew processing center, which thanks to Secretary NEC, we've got funding for that, and should be functional by the end of this month, early August. We also have a ginger and turmeric processing plant at Meghalaya, which should again be operational by the end of this month. So that's where we have options. We can look at partnerships in food processing because food processing is desperately required in the Northeast, and we can look at those convergences. Apart from bulk, I'll just take another minute. Apart from bulk, we also do retail, and we white label the products. We've got entrepreneurs who have been onboarded. So if somebody is interested in getting these items in a bulk supply and repackaging them, we are open to that idea as well. We also undertake skill training, and we can look at convergence in that. We basically have MOUs with Food Processing Sector Skill Council, Rubber, and with the Agri Sector Skill Council. I look forward to interacting with all of you during the B2G session. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you. We now have the CMD NEDFI, Mr. Murthy. NEDFI is the Northeast Development Finance Corporation, and any of you investing in the Northeast, I think would do well to be connected with NEDFI to take care of your financial needs.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends and investors, I am PVSL Murthy. I am Chairman and Managing Director of Northeastern Development Finance Corporation. We are basically into lending to the big projects, MSME and also MFIs, to enable them to go to far-flung areas. And we have a venture capital also. We invest in the startups. Coming to project finance, we are financing the rail project from Siliguri to Rangpo, and road projects in Mangaldoyal area. So all these industries from Hyderabad, especially Hyderabad, they are coming and taking the contracts, and we are financing them at an affordable rates because we are supported by Ministry of Donor with interest-free loans to us. So we pass it on, the benefit to the industries operating in that area. So we work for all the 8 states. Apart from this, we administer the subsidies. For your information, maybe you might have been given the information, there is a capital subsidy scheme from the Government of India, which revised scheme is going to be announced very shortly, and broadly 30% of capital investment subsidy will be provided by the Government of India, up to 5 crores in certain areas, up to 7.5 crores in certain areas. So this is a subsidy for the capital subsidy. Then there is an interest subsidy in certain areas. There is some insurance subsidy, power subsidy. These are all certain areas, they have the subsidy schemes. An important subsidy is a transport subsidy. Of course, transport subsidy only limited to rail transport and air transport, air cargo. Road, there is no subsidy as of now. We have been requesting Government of India with some safeguards to introduce that also, because this subsidy is very important, especially for the states like Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland. So we have to transport the food grains. It takes some time, so that it's costly. But still, government is actively considering. Otherwise, air cargo and rail subsidies are available. And apart from this, we also do advisory and consultancy services. Lot of studies we do on behalf of the state governments and also central government. And recently, if you see this bamboo, oil palm cultivation possibilities, processing centers, all that we have had a detailed study which was adopted by Prime Minister's office, and it is now implemented in the Northeast. There is a huge scope for oil palm cultivation and also establishment of processing units. You can just think about it, Mizoram and Arunachal and Assam, they are all actively coming forward because there is a sufficient land available there. So these are some of the studies. If you can just go to netfi.com, if you can just see the site, all these studies are free of cost, studies are available. You can just browse that, and you can, whatever subject you are interested, you can see those studies, or you can reach out to us. There is emails are available there, so that we will be giving you at free of cost soft copies. So these some of the studies we have done on the potentials available in this thing. And interestingly, this time, I think hotel industry is also being included in the subsidy scheme. So services are also coming into. So there is a huge opportunity of subsidy from central government. And some of the state governments are also actively providing, especially Assam government recently, large projects, they are giving specially some subsidies they are coming. And then tea tourism, they are now allowing some kind of a resorts and then hotels, not big hotel, but 5-star category. They are encouraging, there is up to 2 crores, there is a subsidy in that area also. So there is a lot of opportunities. Whether financing, we are financing definitely less than market rates, if it is a viable proposition. And there is subsidies are available, and all the state governments are there here to help you out. And we have a venture capital. We have a venture capital exclusively for 8 states, and there is venture capital established by NRL, 30 crores as an angel fund. Government of Assam is actually considering to establish a venture capital of 225 crores, and Manipur and NEDFI, we have jointly established one venture capital for 30 crores. Like that, lot of opportunities. Just come and explore. And I forgot to tell you, recently, this API manufacturing, anybody pharma, if it is here, I have sent some invitation to some pharma also. API manufacturing in Assam, it's coming in very big way, and in Sikkim also. Other states, little, we have to see whether it is possible or not. But Assam and Sikkim, API manufacturing is coming up very well. you can explore that. And any other industry, as they have already shown you, food processing, all other things. Please come to Northeast. Lot of incentives are available. We are all there. I am basically from this part of country, but I am serving there. So welcome. So you have, apart from all, you have Telugu speaking me also. Anchad rendi tapakanda.